All right, I'm here with Lulu. This is Lulu. Lulu has potentially some resource guarding, but the more that the guardians described it, I don't think it's resource guarding. I think it's just she basically is kind of a spoiled little dog. And she actually has bitten one of her guardians, one of the guardians she doesn't show a lot of respect for. And when that guardian was trying to take away like a bunny rabbit she was trying to kill, she bit. And she has acted aggressive in a number of times. So we talked a number of different things off camera, but in this video we're going to go over how you can release your dog in a structured way. We're about halfway through it. I wasn't going to show this, but I was going to show a different exercise, but we'll link it up in just a link above in this write-up. Basically what we did was we put her in here, and we did it in a positive way. We threw a treat in, she went in, closed the door. We went outside and went on the front yard for a minute or two, and then came back, and I opened the door, but I used this to block it. I had this actually inside the lip of the kennel to block her from exiting. And she was whimpering, and she's breathing really heavy because this is stressful for her. What I want her to understand is she can't come out until she gives me something. Well, that might be an SIT right there. That's usually, yep. Come. Now, normally when she comes out of the kennel, she is racing out of the kennel, and she's rooming around the room, and she's a little ball of excitement. Well, excited is not necessarily happy when it comes to dogs. And so if we confuse, and yeah, I forgot. After you do this, you always want to throw another one in so she goes right back in and gets it without having to, and that's wonderful residual, but she doesn't have to. But she respected my authority because of what we did before. So when you do this, what I want the guardian to do is she takes, there's an older dog in the house. She's the one that goes for walks, even though she's not very nice to the guardian that walks her. But the other dog is older, and he doesn't go for walks because he throws up, because I think walk was too long. So what I suggested we make this a ritual, because the old dog, we want to get some exercise as well. That'll keep him around longer. So what we want to do is we're going to take him for a walk. We're going to put her in the kennel. And I would say kennel or crate or whatever the word is. And then take the other dog for a walk. And we're just going to go like about 3 or 4 houses up, because he's like 14? 13. So he's an older yellow lab. And we're going to go 3 or 4 houses up, then turn around and come back. That way he gets a little bit of stimulation walk, a little bit of exercise. It'll keep him a lot longer. And she's going to be doing this. Then the mom can come in, and before she takes her for a walk, she's got to stay calm. Now I'm going to stand up, and it's okay. You won't see my face when I'm standing up. I just want to have the guardian watch, the camera watch this. Now, because I have big clown feet, and that's a little dog in a little kennel, I'm using a tennis racket to block. So I come over here. First thing I do is I reach, and as soon as I reach, you saw her put her hand up. So I did this before, and every time I did this, she would put her hand up. As soon as she put her hand up, I would retract. So I'm saying that as soon as you try to force your way out, that stops the process of me letting you out. And eventually, you jiggle it, you jiggle it, you jiggle it. And when I get ready to do this, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to go ahead and open it. There we go. She used her paw. Sticking her nose through. So now I'm going to have this here, and I put it inside the lip. So see how she's trying to come out. You might need to get a little bit of a bigger tennis racket. Now I'm waiting for her to SIT, and I'm not going to tell her to SIT. For a dog, SIT, I'm spelling it out because I don't want to do it on command. The reason I'm saying SIT, or I want her to SIT, is sitting down is a more subordinate position in the dog world. Standing up is more authoritative. So she can't come out until she SITs, and I'm spelling it because I don't want to even give her the command. If she SITs on her own, that's her way of saying I'm challenging you less. And so as soon as she stops challenging me, I'm going to grant her freedom. But as long as she's going to challenge me, I'll stand here all day long if I have to. One of the dirty secrets of dog behavior is you have to always outlast your dog. Every time you give in, you make your dog struggle and push more the next time you go through the same thing. So she's sticking her nose out here, and you can see her mouth is open. That's called dry panting, and you can't see it inside, but she is breathing heavy. So now at first I have the tennis racket right through here, and make sure if you do this, you have strings in your tennis racket. I told somebody to do this once. They didn't have any strings. The dog just ran right through. The whole idea is a block. So now I'm going to stand up again, and I'm going to move it outside, but I don't want her to run out. As long as she's not pushing it, I'm going to take it back a little bit. If she tries to come forward, I'm going to disagree by moving the racket rapidly towards her. And we stayed here for a second or two, and she hasn't tried to come out, so I'm going to move it back a little bit further. Now, don't move too far, too quickly away from it. Go at your own pace, because if the dog starts self-releasing, it'll continue self-releasing. But again, you see her mouth, she's stressing out. And when you're doing this, keep your hips pointed towards her. I'm turning towards the camera at times so you can see me, but your hips, you should have your butt facing this way and your front facing that way. Now I can step a little bit further away. Now, mom is going to do this after I get done filming this, and it might take a little bit longer because she doesn't respect mom as much, but this gives us the ability to negate her athletic ability. So as soon as she SITs, I'm going to call her out like there's no tomorrow. Now, it reminds me, make sure that you have a treat with you. So as soon as the dog SITs, you're going to call it out right away, and that's going to be right there. Come. And see, the energy that she came out with was not all this craziness zooming around the room. She just went over and jumps up on mom, which we would prefer to have maybe you hiss for that. You could hiss as well, but that's a way of claiming you. So the idea is at first we want her to SIT. So use a tennis racket and do this a couple times a day. Formulate and structure, Penny or Lulu, where's sweetheart? You're blocking a little bit, yes. And then after you do it, throw a treat in there and don't say to go in there. And she gets to go in there and she gets to get it and leave without us blocking her. Otherwise she thinks every time I go in there, they're gonna block me in there. So the first one we're gonna do this, it probably took, what was it, about how long?
Half an hour?
It was about a half an hour before she laid down the first time. The record for this, I have a boxer once that took an hour and 45 minutes. It might take a long time, but the more you outlast them, eventually it gets shorter and shorter. That second time was like, a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And so it'll get faster and faster, but dogs are very good at knowing, with dad I can get away with this, with mom I can get away with more or less. And so it's up to us to let her know. And so she sees the treat in there, but I'm not telling her to go get it. She knows she can go get it when she wants. There we go. Crash. That's a little passive training. Okay, so the first stage is just what I just showed you. Once you get to the point where when you open the kennel door, she's sitting right down right away, then we're into the next stage. The next stage is she has to wait, we're gonna wait until she lays down. And then we're gonna invite her out. But as soon as she lays down, boom. So watch her like a hawk and have that treat ready to go. And once you get to the point where she's laying down right away, then what you do is when you come home, you'll be able to open the door, she stays there, and take a step back and pause. Make sure you're facing this way. And then pause between step. Left, right foot, stop. She stays place. Left, right foot, stop. And anytime she starts to come forward, you rush towards, and with the tennis racket, in a sudden movement to tell her, I don't want you to come out. Eventually, you'll be able to get to the point where you come home, open the kennel door, go over there and start making dinner, change clothes, do whatever you want to do. And then you can come up with a unique word to come out. So if every time she comes out, maybe you say parole. I like using fun command words. Or holiday or vacation. ¿Cómo se dice vacation in español?
Vacaciones.
Vacaciones. So, we have a multi-language household, which we need to appreciate those as much as we can, because diversity is awesome. So, Lula, there you go. So I would say, Argentina or whatever the name is for the kennel. And then she gets to come out and leave. And so she's still thinking, is this the same sort of game? So no, it's not. Now, I'm not going to encourage her to go in there. It's up to her. And when she does and gets to leave, see, she got a little bit of residual. She didn't run out right away. So the idea for this is I want her to start seeing that the mother of the family is the gatekeeper, literally. And that I can't sit, I can't come out until I do what she wants. And she's not even going to tell me what to do. Mom's just waiting for the dog to do what we want. And again, sitting is less authoritative and laying down is even more so. So after a while, the dog just starts laying down and then waiting for mom to say vacaciones or whatever the word is that you guys want to use to mean that the dog can come out. This is a great way to develop a little self-control that will help in other situations where we have the advantage. Lulu. Is it Lulu or Lula?
Lulu.
That's what I thought. Well, this is Lulu. And always stop petting a dog if it puts its paw on your hand like that. That's a domination move. Have you taught her to shake?
We've tried.
Don't do that because I just find it confuses the dog. Lula, sit. Well, this is Lula, and these are tips and tricks you can use if you have a dog that doesn't listen to you, just by adding a little bit of structure in how you release them from the kennel.